Hi, I'm Ted Radick with the Findlay Courier. I'm here with Dave Hanneman and Michael Burwell, and welcome to another week's edition of Chalk Talk. Well, we're heading into week 5 of the season, guys. Can you believe it? Almost halfway done already. All right, Michael, who, good or bad, who is your surprise team of the season so far this season?
A couple of surprises stick out to me. I'm kind of surprised about Lipsick's 3-1 start. They've lost so many talented players from last year. I mean, Gavin Cup, Jordan Brown, Nate Brecht, some skill player guys who really put up some good numbers last year, and they've come right out of the gates with.
I expected Lipsick to be good, but I expected Lipsick to be good next year. I think they seem to be ahead of schedule so far, and that comes down to who's their coach this year?
Joe Kirkendall. That's all it comes down to. He's done a really good job with the team, and picked up a big win over LB. And I guess another surprise team, Patrick Henry's 4-0 right now, and Donnie Johnson is really running the ball pretty wild. I mean, he's a heck of a running back, and they've picked up some huge wins. Those two teams have really been, how successful they've been, have been a surprise for me.
All right, Patrick Henry jumped up at the rankings to number 3 in Division 6 this week, and the computer points came out today, and they're number 1 in their region. Dave, who's your surprise team of the year so far?
Well, I could throw 2 out that kind of get me. One would be Findlay High School, which lost all but 2 starters on offense. They're 4-0. But, as I've heard around town and even the newsroom some places, they haven't really played a lot of really tough teams yet. Ottawa-Glandorf was in the same boat, graduated a ton of offensive talent, but they're 4-0, and they've won a couple of big league games too.
OG is my surprise team, I think. I did not expect them to be undefeated at this point, and they're as good as ever.
One thing you have to look at when we talk about our surprise teams, Joe Kirkendall, Bill Inselman, Ken Schreiner, very good coaches.
And veteran coaches. Okay. Who you got this week, Michael? You've got Lipsick and Pandora this week, right?
Yep, I do, and should be a good game. Pandora picked up their first win of the year last week over North Baltimore, a solid win. I guess that's kind of one of the surprise teams. Also, Pandora's 1-3 start. They've had a couple
tough schedule though.
Yeah, tough schedule. They've had a couple close games, but that win last week I think can open the door for quite a few more wins for Pandora this year. Putnam County teams should be, I think it could be a good one. Lipsick has the 3rd best offense in the BVC, while Pandora has the 3rd best defense in the BVC. So it'll be interesting to see. Slow scoring game, maybe it'll favor Pandora. If it's a high scoring game, I might favor Lipsick. So should be a good one.
Okay, Dave, the Trojans are home this week. That's been kind of unusual this year. This is only their
Michael,
second home game, but they get Oregon Clay this week, kind of the last easy game before the schedule toughens up. Right?
Absolutely. They should start 5-0 for the 3rd straight year. The first half of their schedule, call it a break, call it lucky, call it good scheduling, but it prepares them for what's going to be a very tough second half of the season in the track. I mean, you got Central Catholic and St. John's and Whitmer and teams that go to the playoffs and deep in the playoffs regularly.
How about Fremont Ross beating St. John's
That
last
was
week?
a shocker. Fremont's got a new coach, Chuck Long, and he seems to be putting his talented athletes in very good positions. Drunken Miller, and they got a quarterback that is just playing lights out. That was a shocker, them beating St. John's, though.
Okay. This week I will be at the Lou as Arcadia plays Van Loo, and one thing I can promise you guys is the 50-50 drawing will be less than Marion Local Coldwaters.
You don't know that for sure.
All right, that's it for us this week. Be sure and check thecourier.com Friday night, the Courier newspaper on Saturday, and we will see you next week.